Okay, so we are recording. We just had a question about yoga props. And you won't need any tonight or for any of these classes, but if you have yoga blocks, these are yoga blocks, they'll be handy to have not only tonight, but in any yoga practice. So you can always have these on hand. You can buy these online. You can buy these directly from my studio from 815 Yoga. Just get in touch with me and I can send them to you, or you can buy them online. Just Google yoga blocks. The ones that I have here are cork yoga blocks, and I like these because they're really nice and firm and supportive, but also they're eco-friendly, so that's nice. There's foam kinds and there's wooden and other materials, but these are great. Lots of different brands and places you can get those. Again, you won't need them, but they can be helpful. If you don't have them and don't want to buy them, you can also use things at home like books or cans of beans or pots and pans or anything that's kind of rigid and sturdy like that, that would give you a little bit of support. Even if you're just like next to your coffee table, that would work really well. And then the other thing that I've got over here is a blanket. And just like I mentioned with the yoga blocks, I have these specific ones, but you can use any blanket that you find around your house. It doesn't have to be like this. It could be a towel, anything that'll give you a little bit of cushion and a little bit of support the way that a blanket would. So any blanket is great. There are other yoga props that you can find and you can use, but there's really no need to have any of that. It's just extra good stuff. Okay, so tonight we have 60 minutes together, and just like last week, and every week going forward, most likely will be a vinyasa style practice. So that means we're doing mindful movement. Every movement, every pose that you come into, I want you to really feel into the body. Notice how you feel, adjust if it doesn't feel good, stay a little longer if it does feel really good. And then each movement is gonna have a breath cue for the most part. So I'll say inhale, do something, exhale, do something else. You'll probably lose the breath cues, inevitably you'll get off track with the breath, but stay with me to the best of your ability and come back when you lose it. You'll lose it and then come back and lose it and come back. So we're gonna start in a seated position. Any comfortable seat is totally fine. You can sit in this Sukhasana, easy seated position, cross-legged, or you can sit on your knees. You can sit with your legs out in front of you. If you have these great yoga blocks, you can sit on one or two of them, whether you're on your knees or in Sukhasana. Sometimes that's nice, or you can sit with your back up against a wall or in a chair. Just make yourself comfortable. We'll come in with a couple of minutes of meditation and breath work. So wiggle around, get comfortable, close down your eyes or find a soft gaze toward the floor. Microphone, so you can hear me a little better. So settling in, finding your body, finding your breath, and just allowing it to move in and out through your nose. Last week, we talked about breathing through the nostrils, both on the inhale and the exhale. And we do this because it sends signals to the nervous system that we are safe, that there's no danger surrounding us, coming at us. Then we can relax. When we breathe through the mouth, it sends signals to the nervous system that we are in a state of distress. And so it's sort of like if you imagine if you see a ghost or if you see a monster, you would gasp in through the mouth. So we like to breathe through the nose to calm the nervous system, relax the body and the mind. But other than that here, as we start, other than breathing in and out through the nose, you don't have to do anything special just yet. Just breathe naturally. Breathe the way that your body wants you to breathe, without trying to fix or change the breath or find any particular special quality about your breath. Just breathe super naturally. And maybe make some observations about your breath. Maybe notice how fast or slow you're breathing. where you feel your breath in your body. If your breath feels easy and free or a little bit restricted. And then still breathing naturally, not trying to change anything about the breath just yet. I want you to try to create a little bit more space in your body for the breath. So maybe you sit up a little bit taller, you find a little bit more height. Maybe you think about creating a little bit more space to the front and to the back side of your chest, your upper back, some more depth in your rib cage, some more depth for the body to hold your breath. And then some more width from left to right. See if you can create a little bit of space in your torso, your upper chest, rib cage, from the left to the right side. So your shoulders are nice and broad, you're sitting tall, your arms are relaxed. There's lots of space in your body to bring the breath in. Notice how you feel here compared to the way that probably you sit at your desk all day or in the car or on the couch in that rounded position that we all sit in with the head forward, shoulders rolled forward. And there's not a lot of space in the body for the breath here. It's sort of hard to take a big full breath when you're in that rounded office posture. So see how it feels to create some spaciousness in the body for the breath. And then maybe start to move your breath into that space. Make it a little deeper, a little fuller. A little slower. And I'm going to move you into the 4-count breath, we'll call it. And it's really just as simple as that. You're going to inhale to a steady, slow count of 4, and then you'll exhale to a steady, slow count of 4. There'll be a little pause at the top and at the bottom after the inhale and after the exhale. But basically, you'll just follow along with my count, and I'll guide you through about 5 or 6 rounds of breath. And if it feels unnatural to stay with me on the 4 count, you can always adjust and breathe to your own inner 3 count or 5 count. You can adjust it depending on what your body needs. But let's go ahead and start and prepare just with a full breath in, and then a relaxing breath out. And then when you're ready, very gently start to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pause. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little longer pause. And then exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. One more round. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause at the top. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And then when you're ready, take a big breath in. Let it go. Notice how you feel in your body and your mind. And then if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. Palms touch and the thumbs come into the chest. And if you'd like, you can call a word or a short phrase to your mind here, something either that you'd like to create in your daily life, maybe something you'd like to rid yourself of and let go of, or maybe just some feeling you'd like to feel in your body, your mind, or your heart. There's no right or wrong answer here. Just go with whatever comes to you first. Trust your intuition. Seal it into the center of your heart. And then when you're ready, gently start to blink your eyes open. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers here and start to roll the wrists in circles, a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other direction. And then when you're ready, flip your palms away from your body, keeping the fingers interlaced. You'll take a breath in and reach the arms up overhead like this. As you exhale, take a little side bend to your right side. And then inhale your way back to center. Get nice and tall. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhale again to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. One more round. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. As you exhale, release your hands, circle your wrists on their way down behind your back. Clasp your hands together again behind you. Press the palms away, press the palms together and reach the arms out and away from the body. Lift through your heart. Now the arms do not have to go straight. The arms can stay bent. It doesn't really matter what shape the arms are in as long as you feel some stretch across your chest. You can even rest the hands on the floor if that feels better and press your chest up toward the sky. Sometimes that's better, especially if there's lots of tightness there. Good. When you're ready, release the hands. We're going to switch the cross of the legs so that the opposite foot goes in front, the awkward way. And when you're ready, inhale your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, take a twist to your right side. Just let the hands fall wherever they naturally want to go. Take an inhale and come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Sit tall as you twist. And inhale back to center. Exhale to the right, flowing with your own breath. Inhaling your way back to center. Exhaling to the left. And then see if you can do one more round at your own pace of breath without my cues. Once more to each side. Very nice. After your last time to the left, come back to center, inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll come into a tabletop pose. So you can either come over your knees or bring your feet around to the side. Come into that tabletop pose on your hands and your knees, all fours, stacking your joints, shoulders on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. And then let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tail, going high toward the sky. As you exhale, round your spine, drop your head, look back between your legs toward your feet. We call this cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, drop your head, push the floor away with your hands, puff up between your shoulder blades. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And last one, inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Come back to your hand. Come back to a neutral spine, and let's move into some wrist stretches. Turn your hands back toward your knees, your fingers back to face your knees. Make sure that you're rotating your hands out to the sides and back around rather than in towards center. That gets a little bit awkward to do it that way. So hands backward, and your palms are still down on the mat. If you want to, you can stay put right here, or you can move a little bit, maybe forward and backward, maybe side to side, maybe draw big circles on top of your hands, whatever feels good to you. And then come back to center, back to neutral. And we'll do one more wrist stretch here. Go ahead and flip the backs of your hands to the mat with your fingers pointing toward each other in the center. Backs of the hands to the mat, looking down at your palms. You should see your palms facing up. Press all 10 fingers down into the mat, especially your thumbs and your pinkies. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to start to curl your fingers in and try to make fists with your hands. We'll do that 5 times, 4 more. Inhale, open the fingers up wide. Exhale, curl the fingers in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl in. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Flip back to your hands. Let's come into puppy pose. Walk your hands out in front of you. Maybe scoot your knees backward a little bit. Drop your head and your chest down toward your mat. And you should find a big shoulder stretch here. There's 2 ways to do this puppy pose. You can either keep your elbows and your forearms lifted, come onto your fingertips and really crawl your fingers out as far forward as they can go. You get a big stretch all the way down into the chest here, kind of all the way down through the armpit into the chest. If that doesn't feel so good, if it feels like a lot of work and it just doesn't feel right, you can set your elbows down and try a different variation here. Elbows on the mat, go ahead and bend your elbows, bring your palms together, and bring your thumbs toward the back of your neck. You get a little different stretch there, and you probably feel it in your triceps. If that one feels better, stay there. We'll take one more breath. When you're ready, release your hands back out in front of you. Press your way back up to tabletop. Let's tuck the right toes under. Push back through your right heel to find a calf stretch. So the right leg goes straight back with the toes on the ground, and you're pushing back through the heel. You should feel this in your right calf muscle. Spread your fingers out wide. Make sure you've got the weight in your fingers. It's not all dumping into the wrist. That's where it gets a little tender and uncomfortable. Now keep the spine nice and long, including the lower back and the back of your neck. So you're not cranking the gaze forward. And this is especially important if you've got the computer screen in front of you watching me up here. I want you to just listen. So look down toward your mat. Back of your neck is long. Back of the head is lifted up toward the ceiling. So it doesn't look like your head is dropping like you're texting. The neck is nice and in line with the spine. And the belly is lifting up toward the back of the shirt. From this nice, strong place of integrity in the spine, we're going to start to kick the right leg straight back toward the wall behind us. Whichever wall is behind you, I want you to imagine you're pushing that leg back into it. So flex the foot, push back through the heel, and then start to curl your left fingertips forward until you're ready to reach your left hand all the way out in front of you. Keep the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Left palm turns toward the center line. Fingers spread wide. Ear by the bicep. Breathing here. We're going to just hold for a couple of breaths, keeping the low belly lifted. Don't let the lower back collapse. It's really easy to do. Keep squeezing the right glute to get the leg high rather than using the low back to lift the leg. Good. Let's take one more breath in. And as you exhale, set the hand and the knee down, and we'll switch sides. Left toes tuck under, push back through the left heel. Same thing, calf stretch on the other side. And just breathe here. Settle into this moment of restfulness, easiness. And then when you're ready, you're gonna start to extend the left leg straight back behind you. So we're going for length here rather than height. If you kick the foot way up toward the ceiling, that's where the low back will collapse, the belly will drop, the rib cage will drop. You wanna keep the belly lifted, use the left glute rather than the muscles with the low back to lift the left leg. And then start to crawl your right fingertips forward and reach the right hand all the way out in front of you. Still looking down, think about pressing the very back of your head up toward the ceiling. Keep the right ear by the bicep. Holding here. Keep your weight in your left fingertips rather than all in the wrist. And breathe. Good. And you can do this. Let's take one more big breath in. And then as you exhale, set the hand and the knee down. We're gonna go back to the first side. Right toes tuck under, push back through the heel. Brief moment here in the calf stretch, finding your breath. And then start to lift the right leg, kick it straight back behind you. Left hand will go out in front. Again, ear by the bicep. Let's take a breath in. And then this time as you exhale, you're gonna bring your elbow and knee underneath the body, touch them together, connect the elbow and the knee under the body. Inhale to reach back out long. And then exhale, elbow and knee come to touch. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Very nice. Set the hand and the knee back down. Switch sides. We're almost done with this. Left toes tuck under. Find the calf stretch. Breathe. As you're ready, left leg starts to kick straight back. Right hand starts to crawl forward and reach all the way out in front of you. Find some steadiness. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, your elbow and your knee touch underneath your belly. Inhale, reach back out long. Exhale, elbow and knee come together. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good. Back to tabletop, and then we'll come to child's pose for a break. Sit back on the heels. Knees are either together or wide on the mat if you prefer. Drop your head and your chest down. Your arms can either stay out in front if it's comfortable, or you could stack your hands underneath your forehead. If there's something else that would make you more comfortable, feel free to adjust. Go exactly where your body wants you to go. We'll take 2 more breaths here. As you're ready, let's come all the way up through tabletop, back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips and your knees up off the mat. Coming into that upside down V shape. You know this one well, especially if you've done yoga before. If you did our last class, or if you've done a yoga class ever, you probably know this shape pretty well. If not, I'm going to walk through a couple of cues so that you know just where to be in downward facing dog. So even if you've taken a yoga class before, maybe they didn't tell you exactly how to do this pose or exactly what to do. So we're going to go through that now. You're going to keep your knees bent. Try not to lock out the knees and straighten the legs, because if you do, what's going to happen is probably the spine will round and you'll come into that office, that desk chair position again with the head forward, upper back rounded. It doesn't feel great to be here in this position. So if you bend your knees a little bit, flip your tailbone up toward the sky and pull your hips back, now all of a sudden you've got a really nice long neutral spine. A little bit of work to stay in this pose, right? It's a hard pose to stay in, but this is a much better place to be long term. Knees bent, tailbone flipped up, hips pulled back. And then the last piece here is I want you to really push your hands down into the mat as hard as you can. Relax your face and take 1 more breath. Awesome. On your next breath in, look forward between your hands, squat back with your legs. As you exhale, push off the toes. You're going to walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. From there, you'll inhale and stand all the way up. Reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, drop your arms and shake it out. Relax the arms, maybe roll the shoulders a few times. If it would feel good, you can roll the head a few times. Catch your breath, let the blood flow back. If you're feeling a little bit lightheaded at this point, that is a great signal to you to drink some more water, especially all day long. But right now, if you need to catch up a little bit, drink some more water, take a sip before we go on. And then when you're ready, let's come into mountain pose. Standing right where you are at the top of the mat. Thighs turn on, glutes turn on, front side of the belly braces as if you're gonna get a punch in the stomach. This will keep the low back and the pelvis nice and neutral and stable. Your arms are heavy, but your heart is nice and light. Take a breath in when you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, bend your knees, sit back, plant your hands right underneath your shoulders. Step your feet back into a high or a knee plank. Take a breath in, push the floor away. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower very slowly down to the mat. Let's take a baby cobra. Lift your head, lift your chest, lift your hands. Keep your hands by the low ribs. Squeeze your heels together back behind you. Great job. Let's exhale, tuck the toes, big strong push-up, back to downward facing dog. We're gonna stay here for 3 breaths. If downward facing dog does not feel so good in your body, you can always set your knees down and come to child's pose instead. If you're in child's pose, come up and back to downward facing dog. Take your next breath in, look between your hands, squat back with your legs. As you exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach your arms up high. And exhale, back to mountain pose. Thighs and glutes on, belly is braced. Arms are heavy, but the heart is light. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, hands plant under the shoulders. Step or hop your feet back into a high or knee plank. Turn your thighs and your glutes on even here. Big breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower slowly, all the way down. Inhale, take either a baby cobra or a medium cobra. If you want to give the hands a little push down into the floor, you may. Keep the elbows soft. Keep the hands pulling back toward the hips. You should feel a lot of work going on in the triceps there. On an exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, big push up, back to downward facing dog. And we'll take 3 breaths, either here or in child's pose. On your next breath in, look forward between your hands, squat back with your legs. As you exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up strong, reach your arms up high, and exhale back to mountain pose. We're gonna do 3 more of these. Big breath in, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, hands under the shoulders, step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in, come way up onto the tippy toes if you're on the feet. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower down. Inhale your choice, either baby cobra, medium cobra, or high cobra. You can come as close as possible to straightening the arms without actually straightening. Keep the elbows bent, keep the hands pulling back toward the hips. And then last but not least, squeeze the heels together. On an exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, big push up, back to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. We're gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna keep walking you through different versions or different variations of back bend postures. So far, we've done baby, medium, and high cobra. Inevitably, you'll find ones that your body loves and ones that your body doesn't like so much. Just stick to the ones that your body loves. Take an inhale, look forward, squat back. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale from here, stand up, reach up. And exhale back to mountain pose. Maybe shake it out a little bit. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower down. Hug the elbows in by your sides. All right, we're gonna come to upward facing dog this time. Straighten the arms. Lift the knees and the thighs up off the floor. Squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. On your exhale, you're gonna lift the hips, come over the toes, back to downward facing dog. Maybe a little step forward with the feet there. So that one is a big one. There's a big back bend and then a big lift up over the toes back to downward dog. If it's starting to feel like that's a little too much for your body, go back to one back bend, one of the back bends that your body liked more. This yoga practice is all about finding what feels good to you. On your next breath in, look forward, squat back. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose. Last round, sun salutation A. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower down. All right, for this last back bend variation, you're gonna come through baby cobra to locust pose. Reach your hands back behind you. Squeeze your heels together. Maybe you even lift your legs as well. Big breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands, tuck your toes, push up through plank back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths right here. All right, when you're ready, on your next breath in, look forward, squat back. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up strong, reach up high. Exhale, mountain pose. Shake it out if you'd like. And then go ahead and just find some stillness here in mountain pose. Closing down your eyes or finding a soft gaze toward the floor. Just a little intermission in our movement practice. Finding a breath again. Maybe coming back to that 4-count breath in your mind. Maybe calling your intention back. Anchoring back in before we start to move again. Moving from this place of intention and steadiness rather than getting lost in all the heat and all the chaos. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them back up. I want you to keep in mind as we go here, I'm going to cue you through plank down to the floor just like we did. Take a back bend of your choice. So you know now you've got a baby cobra, a medium and high cobra, upward dog, locust pose, and there's many others. If you know of a different one that you'd like to take, feel free to go with your own. If you'd like to skip that part altogether, you can skip it and just go straight back to downward dog. So keep that in mind as we go. We're going to add some poses into the mix. When you're ready, let's inhale the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale down to the mat. Inhale for the back bend of your choice. And then exhale, big push up back to downward facing dog. Take your right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Kick it back up behind you. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring your right foot through between your hands. It might need a little bit of extra help. Help it along. We're gonna come up to high lunge. Nice and slow. When you get those arms up overhead, take a breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna open up to the side for warrior 2. So drop your back heel down to the mat here, and then open up your arms to a T. Right arm to the front, left arm to the back. This is warrior 2. Now don't let this front knee drop inward to the inside. Keep it pulling out to the right side. It's gonna wanna drop in, keep pulling it out. And you should feel the glutes turn on there. Reach out long, flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm goes to the sky, left arm either touches the left leg or wraps around the lower back if you'd like. As you exhale, we'll come into extended side angle. Right elbow to knee, left hand reaches out overhead in one big straight line with the back leg. So you've got one long line between left fingertips and left toes. Take an inhale, come back up to warrior two. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the inside of the front foot for lizard pose. Pop the back heel up off the floor so you're on the ball of the back foot, the back toes. Keep the back thigh turned on, back knee lifted. Lizard pose, hands are inside the front foot. You can wiggle the right foot over to the right side of the mat a little bit if you'd like to give the hands some space. And we're gonna stay here for about 5 breaths. If you are feeling exhausted at this point, maybe it's been a long day, you're welcome to set the back knee down. We'll come back to this softer, gentler version of the stretch later toward the end of the practice. But if you can, for now, keep that back knee lifted. We've just got one more breath. And then when you're ready, you're gonna push down really hard into both hands. You're gonna slide gently the right foot all the way back to a plank and then lower down to the ground. Take the back bend of your choice. Inhale. Exhale, big push up, back to downward dog. Same thing on the other side. Left leg goes up, inhale. Exhale, pull your left foot all the way through between your hands, and then very slowly come up to high lunge. Arms go all the way up overhead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, open up to warrior two. Drop the back heel down. Open up your arms to a T. Now it's really handy here that we have this little screen in front of us because you can see if your arms are level. The tendency that I usually see in people is this back arm is dropped down lower. We sort of forget about the back arm. So if you have your screen in front of you and you can see yourself or a mirror, or you can just take your eyes and look to the left hand and then look to the right hand and make sure that you're not dropping one arm or crooked in any way. Warrior two, flip your front palm, big breath in, reverse warrior, left arm up this time, right arm either down to the back leg or behind the lower back. On an exhale, come to extended side angle, elbow to knee, right hand up overhead in a straight line with the back leg. Take an inhale, come back up to warrior two. And then exhale to lizard. Hands come down to the inside of the foot. Maybe wiggle the foot over to the left side of the mat. Pop the back heel up. And if you can, keep the back knee lifted for 5 breaths. Relax the face. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. See how gentle and slow you can make your breath, even in the midst of some heat here. Last one. When you're ready, push down firmly into both hands, slide the left leg slowly back to plank and lower down. Back bend of your choice, inhale. Exhale, push up and back to downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna do that once more on each side. When you're ready, right leg to the sky, inhale. Exhale, right foot through to the hands. High lunge, inhale. Good, exhale to warrior two. Drop the back heel, open the arms. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, either elbow to knee or fingertips to the floor. Inhale, back up to warrior two. And exhale, finally to lizard, hands down to the ground, inside the foot. Pop the back heel up, maybe adjust to the front foot, and stay for 5 breaths. Three more. Slow it down. Last one. When you're ready, push down firmly into both hands, step back to plank, lower all the way down to your mat. Back bend of your choice, inhale. Exhale up and back to downward facing dog. Last time, left leg goes up, inhale. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Come to high lunge, nice and steady. Inhale as you rise. Exhale to warrior two. Front palm flips, inhale, reverse warrior. Good, exhale, extended side angle, either elbow to knee or fingertips to the floor. Inhale, back up to warrior two. Exhale to lizard, hands come down inside the foot, pop the back heel up, maybe wiggle the foot to the left, front foot to the left, and take 5 deep breaths. Maybe, just maybe, you could even bring back the 4 count breath here. Two more. And then go ahead and push firmly into both hands. Gently step the left foot back, lower down all the way to the belly. Back bend of your choice, inhale. As you exhale, instead of going back to downward dog, go back to child's pose. Push back over your knees and rest for 3 slow breaths. As you're ready, let's come up and back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and look forward between your hands, squat back with your legs, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. We'll inhale and stand all the way up, reach up, and exhale, shake it out, mountain pose. Catch your breath. We're gonna go into some standing balance. So warrior 3 is coming. Last practice, I believe we did some warrior 1. Warrior 1 faces the front side of the mat. You're in sort of a lunge shape, but your back foot is at about 45 degrees. Warrior 2 we did today. We opened up all the way to the side. The stance gets a little longer there. Warrior 3, our last warrior, is a balancing warrior. Your hands come to your heart. You push off the back foot. You find your balance, and you come into this sort of capital T shape. So that's what we're gonna go for today. Find mountain pose to start. Your hands can either come to your hips or to your heart here. I find those are the best starting positions. You can adjust from there as we go. You may end up wanting to take your arms back like airplane wings, straight out to the side, or even out in front of you, because when you're in this position, this is in front of you, overhead. You can always adjust, but start either with the hands at the heart or on the hips. Equal weight in both feet. And just sort of rock a little bit forward and back, side to side on your feet. I'll go ahead and turn to this side. We're going to start on the right side. You can really start on either side, but just so that I'm cueing you through the right leg and left leg, if you want to stay with me, shift your weight onto your right foot. Let your left leg start to kick straight back, and then the toes will come onto the mat. So you've kind of got this kickstand with the back leg, but your weight is in your right foot. Now you're going to keep the head down to the left heel in a straight line. So you think straight line between the head and the left heel. And as you tip forward, you're going to keep that in a straight line, head to the left foot. Bend the right knee a little bit, the one you're standing on, and start to hinge forward, tip forward, leading with the chest. And the left leg stays in line with the spine. So if you don't fold or if you don't tip so far, you won't look exactly like a capital T. You'll kind of be a crooked capital T, which is totally fine. You can absolutely stay there. And that might be better for your body than coming into the full capital T. Just sort of depends on hamstring flexibility amongst lots of other things. So play with it for a moment, kind of see how far your body wants you to go. Don't worry about perfection, just feel it out. We'll do it one more time on each side. Stand back up when you're ready, and we'll test it out on the second side. All right, shake it out a little bit. And then if you did hands on hips last time, maybe this time, you experiment with the hands at the heart. See if it's any easier, any harder. Inevitably, one side is a little bit stronger and steadier than the other. Weight is on the left foot. Right leg goes back like a kickstand. Both legs are super strong here. As you come in, as you start to tip forward, if the leg that's kicking out in the back is really weak, the whole body gets really weak and flimsy. So kick strong through that back leg. Let the standing knee bend. Don't worry about a straight standing leg. It usually doesn't feel as good, strong, or steady if the leg is locked. Keep the knee soft. Good, a nice long spine. You can even think like a baby cobra here and drive the chest forward, pull the head and the shoulders back. If you want to take your arms into a different position, you could give that a try. Make sure you're still breathing. And then let's slowly come back to stand and shake it out. We're going to do that one more time on each side. So now you have a little better feel for it. Go ahead and stand on your right foot. You don't have to turn. I don't know why I'm turning between each side. You can keep facing the same direction. Keep your weight in your right foot this time. Left foot kicks back. Find your breath. Start to tip forward whenever you're ready. Softening into the standing leg, standing knee. Keep the belly lifted. Remember when we were in tabletop at the beginning and we had opposite arm and leg extended? Think about what the spine was doing there. The belly was lifted, back of the head was lifted, back of the neck is nice and long. You could even, if you're feeling really confident here, you could bring back that same movement from tabletop. Opposite arm and leg reach out and then curl in, reach out and curl in. And it gets a little bit crazy. There's lots of things you can try here. Have some fun with it. Don't worry about perfection. When you're ready, come back to stand and we'll give it one more shot on the other side. Breathe. Left leg takes the weight, right leg kicks back. Both legs super strong, and then start to tip forward. Okay. So depending on where you are today, you're either just working on getting that back foot to lift, and that might be enough. It might be really wobbly. You can use the wall next to you. Or you might be working on that opposite arm and leg, reaching long and curling in. Reaching long and curling in. Maybe you're somewhere in between. Maybe you're working on mastering the capital T shape. Whatever you're doing, make sure the breath is still flowing. Make sure the belly stays lifted, back of the head stays lifted, looking down. Good, one more breath. And then come back up to both feet, shake it out. Front of the mat, mountain pose. All right, a few minutes left. If you have any yoga blocks, grab them and place them on either side of your mat underneath your hands. You do not need these. Repeat, you do not need these. But if you have them, it's kind of nice. I'll demo with them just so you can see what that looks like. All right, mountain pose. Let's take a big breath in, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Hands will either come to the blocks or all the way down to the floor like you've done every time before. You're gonna step just your right foot back to the end of the mat, and then you'll set the right knee down. Now, if there's a little bit of sensitivity in your knees, and even if there's not, it can feel really nice to set a blanket underneath that back knee for a little bit of cushion. You can fold it up as many times as you need to get lots of cushion, but end up here in a low lunge. Left knee forward, right knee back. Your front, what is this called? Front knee is right on top of the front ankle. You don't have the ankle back here and the knee really far forward in front of the foot. This isn't really a dangerous position. Some yoga teachers will say that this is dangerous. I don't really know where that comes from, but it just doesn't feel as good as if the foot is forward. You get more of a hip stretch here. So low lunge, hands are either up on the blocks or down on the floor. Come here, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, you're gonna pull the hips back, straighten out the front leg, maybe bring the blocks back with you. Left toes pull up toward the sky. And then you keep a nice long spine folding forward any amount over this front leg. The knee can stay bent a little if it needs to. And we're just gonna move with the breath between those two positions. When you inhale, come forward to low lunge. When you exhale, go back to half split. Do that a couple more times with your own breath. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to half split. I'm gonna do a couple more. You go with your own breath at your own speed. Don't worry about how fast or slow I'm going or how fast or slow you should be going. There's no should here. This is just what's right for your body. Whatever speed and whatever pace feels best to you. Okay, and whichever one felt better to you, whichever position, whichever stretch your body is liking more at this particular moment, I want you to stay there and hold. We're gonna take 3 breaths, just holding either the low lunge or the half split. If you're feeling really good where you are, feel free to stay a little longer. If you're ready, we'll come forward to low lunge and switch sides. Bring your left knee back to meet your right knee, and then bring your right foot forward between the hands or the blocks if you have blocks, or cans of beans, or whatever it is you're using. So again, low lunge, knee on top of ankle, hips are dropping forward. You should feel this one in the hip. If you've got a lunge that looks like more of a 90-90 lunge, this is great. Nothing wrong with this one, just not as much stretch going on here. So low lunge, you'll inhale here, and then you'll exhale to go back to half split. Front leg will straighten, right toes will pull up toward the sky. Remember, this knee can stay a little bent if it needs to. And then go ahead with your own breath. Inhaling to lunge. Exhaling to half split. Let's do a few more rounds. Stay with your breath. All right, and whichever one is feeling better to you at this moment in time, I want you to go there, even if it's the opposite one from the other side. We're not always perfectly balanced and symmetrical in our bodies. That would be great, but it's not always the case. So find whichever one feels better, go there, and we'll stay for 3 breaths. Nice and slow, in and out through the nose. Maybe 4 count on the inhale, 4 count on the exhale. And then when you're ready, come forward to lunge. If you were in half split, we'll bring the right knee back. If you have blocks, set them to the side. Scoot the blanket out of the way and come down onto your back. Nice and slow, take your time. If you need a sip of water or anything on your way, feel free to grab those things. If you're somewhere in a nice quiet room where you'd like to turn down the lights or turn down the music that you have, feel free to do any of those things as we prepare for our final relaxation pose. So to prepare, let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug, maybe a little rock from side to side. And then let's take figure 4 stretch with the right ankle over the left knee. Right ankle over left knee. And then your hands can come either behind your left thigh or on top of your left shin, if that feels better. And we'll just take a couple of breaths on this side. You can even start to close down your eyes if you'd like to. Really starting to relax. Stay here as long as you'd like, and then when you're ready, we'll switch sides, uncrossing the legs and then recrossing with the left ankle over the right knee this time. And again, your hands will either go behind your right thigh or on top of your right shin if you've got a little extra spaciousness in the body. From here, whenever you're ready, go ahead and uncross your legs. We'll take a supine twist. Open up your arms to a T or a goalpost and let your knees drop over to the left side. Gently drop your knees to the left side, finding a twist for your spine. And you can even look over your opposite arm if it feels good. And just let your body be heavy here. Stay here on this side as long as you'd like. When you're ready, come back to center, then switch sides. Knees go over to the right. Gaze either goes straight up or over the left arm, opposite arm. Really let your body relax here. Get a little softer with each exhale. Feeling totally supported by the floor, the earth beneath you. Whenever you're ready, come back to center for your final pose of the evening, Shavasana. Now for Shavasana, this is our relaxation pose. So I want you to just get as comfortable as you possibly can. Traditionally, the legs lay long, the arms go long by the sides with the palms facing up. But if you've got any tenderness in your lower back, you can always bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. Let your knees rest against each other. If you have a blanket nearby, you're welcome to cover up with it or place it under your head like a pillow or roll it up under your neck. That's my personal favorite. You could put it over your eyes like an eye pillow, whatever feels good to you. Wiggling and settling your way into the most comfortable position you can find. Closing down your eyes, slowing down your breath, allowing your body to relax completely from head to toe, inside and out. Let your arms and your legs get heavy, hands and feet soft. Relax all 10 of your fingers and all 10 of your toes. Relax every single muscle you can find in your face. And surrender completely into your Shavasana. I'll invite you to stay in your Shavasana, your resting, relaxation pose for as long as your body would like to stay. Stay for at least 10 more breaths if you can. If you have 10 or 15 or 30 minutes, or you want to go straight to bed from here, you're more than welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as your body wants. Just come out whenever you feel ready, whether that's in 5 minutes or in the morning, making small movements at first, and then coming fully back awake. Thank you so much for sharing your evening and your yoga practice with me. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Namaste.